This is the Evergreen game, one of most famous games in chess history. It is also considered to be one of Adolf Anderssen's best games. The game was played between Anderssen, considered to be the best player in the world at the time, and Jean Dufresne in 1852. Dufresne was not a world-class player but was a popular chess author. Originally published in a German chess publication, the game is believed to have been played in Berlin. The game has been extensively analyzed for almost 170 years at this point, and the critical positions are still a subject for discussion today. The game was famously analyzed by the English master Howard Stanton in 1853, and then again by the first official world champion Wilhelm Steinitz in 1879. It was Steinitz who gave this game its name when he described it as evergreen in the laurel crown of the departed chess hero. The Evergreen game is important because it is a masterpiece of its times. It displays not only how to keep an opponent's king in the center but also how to attack it. And because it is known as one of the most beautiful games of all time. The game is also an embodiment of the Romantic era of chess, when the player who made the best sacrifices generally won. The game begins with an exciting Evans gambit, and the fireworks start early. The queen sacrifice used in this game, as well as the harmony of the attacking pieces and the aesthetically pleasing final position, make it a memorable classic. When the Evergreen game was played, Adolf Anderssen was widely accepted as the strongest player in the world. He had won the first major international chess tournament in London in 1851, and this is a great example of his play at the time. E4 is the most popular, active, and romantic first move. Just as good as White's first move. Developing with tempo and attacking E5. Developing and defending E5. Developing the bishop to a central diagonal and attacking F7, the weakest square, defended only by the king. Also developing the bishop to a great diagonal. The Evans gambit all the rage in 1852. This move sacrifices a pawn to expand in the center with a gain of time and to gain active lines and diagonals for the white pieces. When facing a gambit, you should usually accept it. Otherwise you are forced back without gaining material. Threatening the b4 bishop and intending d4. Retreating and staying pointed at the king on e1. Building the perfect pawn center. e4 and d4. Eliminating White's perfect pawn center. Castling and also unpinning the c-pawn so as to capture on d4 next move. This gives back the pawn to prevent White from capturing on d4, but it has the same downside as d-cut c3. It loses time that could be used to develop and castle. Developing the queen and attacking f7. Developing the queen and defending f7. Expanding in the middle and gaining time by threatening the black queen. Retreating the queen and defending d3. The rook is developed, but the e-file is blocked by a pawn. Rook d1 makes more sense. The bishop is placed on a nice diagonal, attacking e7. Black sacrifices a pawn to open the b-file for his rook and b7 for his bishop, but this makes little sense. Neither should become active enough to justify this. Capturing the free pawn. Attacking the queen and seizing the open b-file. Stepping back and keeping a5 under attack. Saving the bishop and responding to the threat of capture on e7 when the knight on c6 cannot capture back and defend a5. Developing the final minor piece. The bishop is placed on a great diagonal. However, castling is much more important. The knight advances to a great square and blocks the black queen so as to play bishop cut d3 next turn. This move is totally pointless. Why is the queen better on f5 than g6? Black should now be crushed. Grabbing the pawn and pointing at the black queen with the threat of knight f6 check. The queen must now retreat from the threat of discovered checks that wins the lady. This is a bit too eager, but the idea to sacrifice a piece to open the e-file makes great sense. The problem is that White allows the g-file pointing to his king to be opened, and there isn't a forced win for him. The queen is also under attack, so declining the knight is not possible. Recapturing. Grabbing the open g-file. For the first time this game, White's king feels pressure too. A brilliant move which anticipates the coming sacrifices on e7 and d7. I love that white saw and took the chance to include his final piece in the attack. Leave no piece behind. Queen cut f3 is mistake. Brilliant. Anderssen has seen the coming checkmate. Capturing the rook and probably not seeing the next move. Another brilliant move. White's queen sacrifice drags black's king into a double check that forces checkmate. Asking to be shown the checkmate. The correct double check. Trying to hide in the center. Pushing the king to a fatal square. Running to d8 is the same. A beautiful finish to a fantastic game. This game is well named and is sure to always seem fresh and inspiring to chess audiences.